All righty. What is up, college baseball fans? Welcome to another episode of the 11.7 podcast, weekend number 2 recap episode. At the end of the episode, we're going to preview the midweeks because I was looking at them. They're pretty good this week. Structure of the show. We're going to talk about the newly released mid-major top 25, or as on social media, the mid-major power rankings, because we got a cease and desist a couple years ago because mid-major top 25 is trademarked. We're going to hit on some teams that stole the show this weekend, along with some player spotlights that we did last week. Noah's going to talk about the weekly email that we've started sending out and just go through some of the structure there of what you're going to be able to get every single Sunday night / Monday morning from us throughout the season. Really fun read that recaps the whole weekend. And then we're going to talk about some hypotheticals here in the middle of the episode that I haven't even told Noah or Dimitri about. We do want to first off say we appreciate everybody for following us on social media. I have made it my goal to revamp our Instagram and Facebook because our DMs are getting flooded with, hey, can you post this on Instagram instead of Twitter because it's easier to share with my friends? Same thing. I don't know. There's like 8 or 9 different reasons people want us to start posting more on Instagram, so we will start doing that. And anything else pre-show that we need to talk about? Oh, Dimitri got a new mic.
I got a new mic. Yeah, it's been about 5 years too long, but I finally got the mic. The old one is out the window. I was tired of people complaining and DMing me and tweeting me to fix my mic. I don't listen to our podcast. I don't listen to any of our stuff because I hate listening to myself. So, and it was pointed out to me that I listened to it and it was really bad. So, yeah, new mic season. It's a gorgeous mic. It's got a nice, cool little light up ring on it. It's wireless, which is pretty cool. So,
Well, quit touching it. Quit touching it because every time you touch it, your volume goes out. So
I
just
know, and then he faces it the other way and talks into the back of the
sorry about that.
you're truly one of a kind.
And then the other thing before we start up, shout out to Jack. I don't care what the internet is talking about with the whole broadcast side of things, but I do know that the analysts and the quality of Gamecast that the humans are doing with the audio side of things. Lynn Rollins, Ben McDonald, Jack DeLongshot, Darren Vaught did a fantastic job down there in Jacksonville. And then also listening to Mike Rooney in Round Rock was fantastic as well this weekend. So
retweet.
Yeah. The only thing I want to say about the D1 baseball broadcasts is I get it. Some people are complaining online about the production quality. There are about 300 of the 308 teams in college baseball that would die for that level of production. LSU and a few other schools, they do have professional broadcasts, and they are used to seeing a much better product. But go ask somebody like Evansville or VCU or Loyola Marymount or somebody like that, and they would die for that kind of production.
So, they're not complaining. They're not complaining about the quality of the broadcast. They're complaining that they're paying $30 for a broadcast, and it's not $30 worth or something.
Bingo.
Like, if that makes sense. It's not about, this broadcast is hot garbage. If I pay $30 for broadcast, there should be zero mistake. There shouldn't be rookie entry-level mistakes happening consistently. That's their issue, I think.
Ding, ding, ding.
If there was one thing I would give advice to D1 baseball is you should be able to buy team-specific packages. So LSU fans, they're only going to watch 3 games out of the 4 tournaments broadcasted on D1 baseball. So that $30 actually covers 4 tournaments and like 16 games total. It's Round Rock, it's Jacksonville, Vegas, and somebody else, maybe Dallas or Arlington. I don't remember the other one, but $30 for those 4 tournaments is a great deal, in my opinion, because I was flipping back and forth from Round Rock to Jacksonville all weekend. Frisco is the other one, yep. But LSU fans should be able to buy the broadcast for $5.99 for their 3 games. And then, I don't know. That would be my advice to D1 baseball. But anyways.
No, I mean, my advice would be if you have to come out even or at a slight loss, do it. The quality is more important than trying to make an extra buck on the thing. Cover all your costs and make it a exceptional product. That will pay off in the long run.
All right. Well, we're getting sidetracked here because none of that stuff matters. Let's focus on 11.7. I thought around the country, games this weekend were entertaining. I would put it a little bit more entertaining than weekend number 1, just because anytime I don't. That's a long tangent. I'm going to go down.
I like the weekend one just because we were jumping back into it head first.
Take away the jubilance and the excitement of college baseball being back. I think weekend number 2 overall on the field was a little bit better, but we were just so excited. So everything happening was even more exciting weekend 1.
Right. And then the build off of weekend 1 and even midweeks to like actually know teams and know players and be able to compare it from week 2 to week 1, in my eyes and in my brain, it makes like weekend number 2 fills the gaps a little bit more for me. Because there's not that adrenaline rush, that excitement of, oh, we're back. Weekend number 2, you kind of settle in and you're like, oh, this team is actually very good. Or, yikes, this team is going to be in trouble this year.
Yeah, I feel like we were able to fill in some gaps on quite a few teams on the mid-major power rankings, for example. So
there was
a
lot of movement.
What reference?
A lot of movement in the mid-major power rankings this week. We had Kent State jump up 17 spots from number 25 to number 8. There was other teams that dropped a ton. Creighton went from number 9 to 23 or 24.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the weekend number 2, I bet if we go back and look over like the last 7 years of mid-major power rankings, weekend number 2 has way more movement than any other week across the season. So here it is. If you're on our YouTube, we appreciate you for watching. But if you're a podcast listener, I will run through the mid-major top 25. It starts with number 1, and not only the best mid-major team in college baseball, but I think they're on pace, and I think they're worthy of potentially a top 8 national seed this year. The Southern Miss Golden Eagles, battling back after losing game 1 of the regular season to Jackson, Florida, and the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos, rattling off 6 straight wins since then, including sweeping through the Round Rock Classic with Oregon State, Baylor, and Purdue. Very impressive. This team is more offensive, I believe, than normal. And the pitching staff is just as good. So I like Southern Miss at 1. Number 2 is Santa Barbara, a team that gave Southern Miss all they could handle, could have potentially won that series in Hattiesburg last week. They're at the number 2 spot. Number 3 is UTSA. 7-0 this year. Sweep Dallas Baptist, which is a loud series sweep. And the Roadrunners, like who would have thought that after all they lost last year, Pat Hallmark and crew would be able to rebuild a roster that is potentially more competitive and better. 4 and 5, Coastal Carolina, they're injured. They're banged up. I still think they're going to be an Omaha caliber team this year if they get healthy. But yeah, they drop one midweek to Charleston, and then they drop they got beat down by Illinois earlier today at like 9 a.m. Excuse me. UC Irvine loses a weekend series 2 to Cal, which maybe Cal's good, but yeah, it was a little surprising to see the Anteaters lose 2 out of 3 at home to Cal. So that's 1 through 5. Any thoughts here, boys, before we move on to 6 through 10?
I think sweeping Dallas Baptist is extremely loud. Winning a series against them is great, but sweeping a team like that is impressive. So tip of the cap to UTSA there. Irvine, I think that you guys mentioned it was really chippy today in that final game of the series. So who knows what was going on there? Maybe they got a little emotional. Who knows? But yeah, I think this is the best way to organize those top 5 teams.
Yeah. With Southern Miss, I would actually kind of point you to where they could get better, I think, is starting pitching right now. Colby Allen's done great. I thought Graydon Harris was going to have like a true breakout year into kind of, I was describing it national stardom, and it hasn't quite happened yet. He's got a 6.75 ERA in the 2 starts so far. But yeah, the offense has been there. Joey Urban's been a tremendous player for them so far this season, but also my Gauchos. I'm super high on them because of the offense. I think this offense is so much better than typical Gauchos offenses. A lot of people think West Coast ball, kind of manufacture runs the old fashioned way, but they've got Nick Hosofsky's got 4 home runs right now. They've got 6 guys batting 300 or better in that starting lineup. I like the Gauchos because of the superb pitching, but the offense is really playing this year.
Yeah. Well said there, Noah. Let's move on to 6 through 10. And the reason why I stopped on number 6 is because we actually get to see them play against Southern Miss here in about 5 days. The Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, which I am, no pun intended, very bullish here on the Bulldogs. I think that I watched a lot of their series, or I guess tournament / series against Houston Christian opening weekend. This is starting to feel like 2021. Like Louisiana Tech has all the pieces. Lane Burroughs, amazing coach. They got some big boys, and dude, the way they handle the bat is the more impressive thing for me. Right, it reminds me a little bit of like you remember Murray State last year? Guys just don't strike out. They have a few power threats, but other than that, like 1 through 9, just grit out at bats, and that'll win you some games there in Conference USA. So I'm excited about Louisiana Tech. I was the one big advocate. Hey, they got to be 6th, not 10th. They need to be 6th. Cal Poly comes in at number 7. Another weekend series win for them. They beat Washington State. Kent State, the biggest riser possibly ever in the 11.7 mid-major power rankings. They move up 17 spots after I mean, I don't know how to explain this, boys, but they were the better team all weekend in Tennessee.
I can explain it if you need.
We'll come back to it here in just
flat
a
out
second.
the better team.
They were the better
Like
team.
Friday night.
Well, wait,
I'm
hold
all
on.
in.
Let's finish up 6 through 10, and then we'll come back to Kent State. Number 9 is San Diego Toreros, a team that we did not rank preseason in the mid-major top 25 because
Just barely. They were like 26 or 27.
they were like 26, and it was because they kicked their starting shortstop. I don't know if kicked him off the team, but like he was let go from the team a week before the season.
He broke team rules.
Broke team rules. And we were like, oh man, that's a big loss right before the season starts. I mean, they are mowing down teams. 4-0 week this week for them. And then they won 2 out of 3 at Charlotte to start the season. Very dangerous team. And then number 10 is the UTRGV Vaqueros. They, after losing Friday night to Houston, came back and won that series on the road. They have played 7 games this season, and they have played 7 Big 12 teams, 3 against Kansas, 1 against Texas Tech, 3 against Houston. There's a chance at the end of the year there will be some Big 12 teams without 3 conference wins. Potentially.
That's a stretch.
And
But
there's a chance it could happen, but yeah. RGV, they already have 3 Big 12 wins this year. So good for them. Now we can talk about Kent State. Who wants it? Who wants the ball? All right, go, Noah.
Yeah, so this team opening weekend heads down to Hammond, America, and pulls off a sweep against Southeastern. So impressive. We put them in the top 25, but it was like, okay, we'll give them the 25 spot. They play LSU in the midweek. They hold their own. Then they head into Knoxville on Friday night, and I don't know if we touched on it at all. I think it happened or broke Thursday night. going into Friday's games. But thoughts and prayers to everybody that is related to or was close with Wes Rucker and the Tennessee Volunteers athletics community down there. Absolute tragedy, and there's a GoFundMe out there, so we will do our best to best thoughts and well wishes out there for him and his family, and the newborn on the way. Sorry, but Tennessee has the late inning magic to walk off Kent State. Kent State was, in that first game. The second game, they take control and they win game 2, and then game 3, they dress it up late and they win 9-5. It was like they were the better team. Dimitri was talking about it earlier. This was a team that I was writing up on the Diamond Report for the MAC preview. I landed on Kent State as the team that I liked the most, even over Miami, Ohio, who received the bid to the NCAA tournament last year when Miami, Ohio was returning their best hitter, their best pitcher from a season ago. And I mean, Jeff Duncan's done such a good job as a head coach over there at Kent State, and this is a proud program. The Golden Flashes are. A couple of the bats that I indicated that would be huge contributors to this team were Luke Matthews, their shortstop, and Brody Williams, their catcher. Both of those guys returning stars from last year's team. And just real quick on those two hitters, we've got Brody Williams, who's hitting $133, and Luke Matthews, who's hitting .208. So immediately I'm like, I'm even more bullish than the product they've put on the field so far right now. Sawyer Solitaria is the name that you need to know. This kid's hitting 500 with a 1500 OPS. He's a sophomore, just utility guy, good defender. Last year was the MAC freshman of the year. And then guys, the pitching staff is solid too. They have this kid named Siren Coffey, who was on Orchard Lake St. Mary's, which a lot of people probably won't know of, but in my neck of the woods in Michigan, this was a high school that went basically like 147 in a 3-year span, and he was their ace. He's a senior this year. He hasn't surrendered a run. He has 12 strikeouts and 9 innings so far this season. Easton Toomas is a Texas transfer that's starting games on Saturdays for these guys. Just a real whippy arm in the mid 90s. Like, I'm all in on Kent State. Sorry about rambling, but give me the Golden Flashes, all of the stock. Let's go.
Yeah, Tennessee Twitter basically said if Tony Vitello was still here, we would already have the 3-hole from Kent State, and their center fielder would already be here on a visit, getting ready to transfer next year. That's the word of Tennessee. They were impressed with Kent State 3-hole. I'm just quoting what they were saying. Their 3-hole and their center fielder. Center fielder, they said, covered every inch of the outfield all weekend long, caught everything. And that's just not even to mention all the players Noah just talked about. This is a very solid Kent State team.
Yeah.
Very.
Now, is it a Kent State team that previous Tennessee teams would have won the series? You guys should be nodding your head. Yes.
Are you asking?
You think if Tony Vitello was in that dugout, you think Kent State still wins the series?
No shot.
Interesting. I have no idea what the answer is, and I don't even know what my answer is.
Has Tony Vitello ever lost a second or first weekend non-conference series before?
Not a series, but a game, yeah. I feel like this Kent State team.
We're not talking about a game, Noah.
We're talking about a series. They probably don't win the series, but I was a little bit lower on this Tennessee team than a lot of others in the preseason.
I said it preseason. I'll say it again, but my hot take was Tennessee or Georgia Tech will miss a regional this year, and it's not because of their roster and the talent. It's just to win at this high of a level. Your head coach matters. Your coaching staff matters. The leadership matters, and like we've said it, head coaches are so important. You can give the same roster to 2 head coaches, 20-year vet Jim Schlossnagle or first-year head coach Jim Schlossnagle is going to do a lot more of that roster than the first-year head coach. It's just the reality of it. That's why these guys get paid a lot of money to do what they do.
Yeah, and I feel like we're getting dangerously close to no SEC team ever hiring internally again. Now, look, there's a lot of season left, and like Tennessee could figure it out and all of this stuff, but between Michael Early taking over last year, Josh Elander this year, if Josh Elander has a rough year this year, similar to like what Michael Early had last year, I don't know if we'll ever see an SEC team hire within. I think we're getting
Let's
close.
But let's pump the brakes on this because this is disrespectful to Kent State.
That's true.
This is the Kent State attention. They're so good. They beat their ass. Let's not distract away and discredit that.
I'm sorry. You're right. I shouldn't. I don't even know if I believe what I just said. I was just trying to stir the pot a little bit. You guys weren't biting. But yeah, I agree. I think this Kent State team, looking at their schedule, look ahead here, they're going to be a 45-win club if they stay healthy.
I love what you said 10 minutes ago. Like they just went through the toughest part of the toughest stretch of their schedule, and they went 5-2.
5-2, toughest part of the schedule. They have a few midweeks here and there, but nothing crazy. And obviously, the MAC will be a grinded out conference play. But dude, right now they look like a team that's going to win 45 plus games.
Sign me up.
Let's see. Just for the listeners out there, Kent State will play Wright State, who is dying for a win at this point after getting swept at Charlotte. But they've got Wright State, Rhode Island for 4 at home, St. Bonaventure, then MAC play starts at Bowling Green. So, I mean, and then they've got Miami, Ohio at home. They've got Ball State at home. 40 win minimum.
Yeah, they're a good team. All right, let's finish up this mid-major top 25. South Florida put on a show this weekend against Georgia Southern. They are number 11, 7-1 this year with weekend series wins against Illinois and against Georgia Southern, of course. Dallas Baptist falls down to number 12. Missouri State falls down to number 13. Mercer jumps up to the 14 spot after a sweep over. A lot of people are saying the Ivy League favorite, Columbia. They dominated Columbia this weekend. Charlotte at 15. Xavier 16. They did get swept this weekend at Arkansas, but one of the games they lost on a walk-off. And like honestly, if we're comparing any of these teams behind them to a weekend series at Arkansas, I don't know if anybody wins a game. So East Carolina is at 17. They went 1-1-1. I hated how they tied today. Can we pause here and just talk about it was a 3-3 game in the 6th inning between North Carolina and East Carolina at North Carolina, and they tied the game because of rain. I would have waited there until midnight if I was Cliff Godwin. Like, I'll play. There is no curfew for us. We will play today.
But I think it was really cold and more rain was on the way.
So those that are curious and were in the Pick'em/Survivor challenges on the 11.7 website, that'll be marked as a push in the Pick'em, basically as a tie. And for the survivors, I believe there was like 44% of the remaining people that were alive that picked the Tar Heels to win that series. Everybody will advance because they didn't technically get eliminated. So that's the ruling on that.
Oh, one more thing I wanted to say about East Carolina. Interestingly enough, they're 3-4-1 this year, but 0-2 in Ethan Norby starts, which is the complete opposite of what I think everybody, including myself, predicted.
Yeah. Ben, did you want to hit on DeCaro before we move on? Because I don't know if we'll come back to the ECU.
Yeah, I have DeCaro. I have DeCaro in a separate category here later in the show.
Cool.
18 Liberty Flames. They're 3-3 on the year. They did salvage game 3 today against West Virginia, yesterday, I guess technically. But they lost the series. West Virginia, I think, is going to be probably top 2 in the Big 12. So they went 1-2. They drop a little bit, but they really haven't. I want to see a little bit more from Liberty to be a top 15 team in the mid-major poll. Murray State is now at 19. They jump up a couple spots, sweeping Butler. Troy is at 20. They won the series against Campbell. So they're going to be right there in that like 20 range until they can, I don't know. We'll see. Hawaii drops 4 spots to 21. The Louisiana Raging Cajuns come into the rankings at number 22 after sweeping Maryland. An impressive way, too. Louisiana's young, man. They got a lot of freshmen out there playing. Starting shortstop, is it something Rodriguez? What is his
Blaze
name?
Rodriguez, I believe.
Blaze
Don't quote me on that,
Rodriguez.
but I believe it was Blaze.
Dude, he's a freaking stud. I mean, he swings the bat so well. I watched some of the game today when they were in extras. Great player. Creighton, big time drop. They dropped 15 spots to 23. 2-4 on the year. Nothing to put on a resume right now. So Creighton is on the edge. South Alabama comes in, and so does UAB at 24 and 25. No, I know you want to talk a little bit about UAB and some fun facts that you have, so I'll give you the floor.
Yeah, real quick on Blaze. He had a 5-hit day today in that third and final game against Maryland that went 15 innings. He went 5 for 7. Blaze Rodriguez, freshman shortstop for Louisiana, the next one. But yeah, UAB I thought deserved the nod over a couple other teams that were in consideration because, I mean, if you look at their resume for UAB so far, they've got a Friday win against Liam Peterson and they've got a Thursday win against Nathan Taylor in Cincinnati. So tough to find a better duo of Friday night wins in the country right now. So UAB Blazers 25.
Nice. Dimitri, any final thoughts here for the mid-major top 25?
Hawaii Regional is dead. All eyes are in the Alamodome Regional for UTSA now. The Hawaii Regional is dead. You cannot split 2-2 at home when you're playing 4-game series like that. You don't leave the island for a month. You got to win all those games at home because you're going to slip up later the season with a very tough Big West schedule ahead. I think Liberty, we dropped them. We were a little strong in them. They got a win against West Virginia. So who knows? Maybe they're a wait-to-see team. Maybe they could rise up quickly again. But, yeah, all in all, Creighton is disappointing, like, once again, early in the season. So we'll see about that. But all in all, I think we did a pretty good job on this one, gentlemen.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, so let's move on to the
Alamodome Regional. I'm super excited about.
I'm pretty sure it's impossible, but we can dream. They would definitely do it at like the San Antonio Missions or Round Rock Express or I don't know. Like,
well, let me tell you something. If you want Pat Hallmark to stay in San Antonio, you better get that field right, and they're going to host at home because he will be gone if he gets his team to another regional and host it this time, and he can't even have it at home.
Yeah, shout out to, I believe his name is, forgive me as I stutter. I just want to make sure it's correct. It is Dan Nerdahl, who is one of our passionate,
long time followers.
One of the passionate followers and interacts with a lot of our stuff online. UTSA, like super, fan and also kind of covers the team. He said, I believe it was him that pointed out that UTSA is away from the birdbath for 18 days, and he was hinting at some possible renovations there. So, yeah, crossing the fingers.
What are they going to do in 18 days? Now?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. What the hell are they going to do in 18 days?
I don't know.
What the hell are you going to do in 18 days?
I don't know.
All right.
But hey, I'll welcome it. If they want to renovate that thing in 18 days and get halfway there, I'm sure it's better than what they have already.
Yeah, we'll worry about that when the time comes. All right, so I do want to move on to the next segment here. Let's do best team of the weekend. Or I don't know if we have an exact name for this segment, but ultimately it's going to come down to like who was the best team this weekend.
Yeah.
I will start.
In the email that is getting sent out, it is basically just the section of the email saying teams of the weekend. So
There we go.
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and take the easy pick here. Can we talk about UCLA for a second? Because the dynamics that UCLA has, I think is one. I think it's really cool because I don't remember who posted this, but like, oh, was it 93% of their roster is like
I
homegrown
posted
talent?
a quote from an
Yeah, so they're
article.
not touching the portal, and I get it. They have the luxury of Southern California to recruit from, and any coach in America would love that pipeline. But isn't it great? Like, you're not losing guys to the portal. You're really only picking up one or two from the portal, including probably their second best player on the
What
team,
about
other
their
than
Friday
Roch
night? What about their Friday night guy?
Yeah, the Friday night guy is Logan
In
Redeman, who
1
came
hour
in
up
from
the
San
road on the
Diego.
5.
But I will say it.
Well, I was referring to Will Gasparino.
And I
Yeah,
was referring to Logan Redmond.
yeah. Gasparino's from Cali too. But not too long ago, Coach John Savage was having trouble retaining a couple of guys. You look at Gage Jump, who jumped ship to
LSU.
LSU, and who was the other kid that jumped ship to LSU that was Friday night, Saturday night arm for them. Like they lost their Friday and Saturday guy within back-to-back seasons to LSU, and it was like, oh my God, like, are they going to be able to do this? And now you blink and you look 2 years later and they have this entire group of juniors that grew up together, and it's working.
Yeah,
I just
and
searched. Who is the other player that went to LSU from UCLA? Gage Jump, and there's one more.
Yeah, he was kind of a little bit of erratic arm at LSU. He didn't throw a ton, but he actually like earned his keep in the postseason during that 2024 national championship.
But yeah,
His name's escaping me.
Griffin Herring? No, I'm trying to
No,
think of
no,
just
no, no.
pitchers on that team.
are
Oh,
you
this
thinking of?
is
You're thinking of no.
LSU
Never
fans
mind.
are screaming at us
Anyway,
right now. I'll
yeah,
pull it
I
up.
mean, you gotta tip your cap to John Savage. This UCLA team was in the gutter for a year or two. I want to say 2023, 2022, 2023, 2024 a little bit. They were not very good, and we would make fun of them because it's like, how is UCLA this bad? But yeah, John Savage turned it around. He's got one of the greatest college shortstops ever already. And by the way, while we're talking about UCLA right now, those of you bringing up Dansby Swanson, those of you bringing up Alex Bregman, some of these other players, go look at the numbers. Roch's numbers clear their career numbers in college. BSR, BB Corbett doesn't matter. He is clearing them by double what they did.
Did you
So
know? So I sent this to the group, but I think since 1986, there's only been one college shortstop drafted number one overall in the MLB draft, and that was Dansby Swanson, who Roch Chalowski is a much, much better pro prospect than Dansby Swanson. In fact, like Dansby Swanson wasn't even like the
He was a
unanimous.
walk-on.
Yeah, he wasn't like the unanimous number one overall pick before the season started. So if Roch Chalowski, 6 homers in 6 games, and playing in a big ballpark where the ball does not fly. He also has a double off the top of the wall, so it really should be 7 homers in 6 games. If he does go number one overall this year and wins the Golden Spikes, he will be the greatest college shortstop prospect, at least in the last 45 years. There was like B.J. Surhoff in 85 and somebody else in 86. But since that, like it's so rare to have a number one overall pick be a college shortstop because you look at the major leagues, there's only, what was it, 5 or 6 MLB starting shortstops played college baseball.
and none of
Which is
them were
crazy.
even close to the number one pick.
Yeah, it's Zach Neto, Jeremy Pena. One of them was number one overall pick, Dansby Swanson. Bregman's not a
Jacob
shortstop.
Wilson.
Well, he was drafted after playing shortstop, right? In
No, I'm
college.
talking about the 30 current MLB
Yeah.
starting shortstops. There's only like 5 that played college. Everybody else is either international or a high school guy. And to have a guy like Roch Chalowski potentially be the number one, I'm not even gonna say potentially, like he's most likely going to be the number 1 overall pick.
The only
Is
way.
rare.
I think the best name on that list, by the way, was Trey Turner. Did you mention Trey Turner?
Trey Turner. Yep, that's right.
Turner, yep. The only way he doesn't get number 1, one of two things. Jackson, the White Sox want to go with an arm. In Jackson, Florida, because that gap is not that far. Like Florida could easily be number 1 and nobody would really argue it. But so basically, if they want an arm and they go with him, or if Cholowski falls off a cliff for up 2 months and Justin LeBron absolutely destroys SEC play, that's the only way something like this could flip.
Well,
But
there's some like political stuff too with like signing bonuses and money and stuff. Like there's a lot of things that could factor into the number 1 overall pick. But you're right. Like if the draft was today, it would be hands down Roch Cholowski, number 1 overall.
Yep.
Yeah. And this year maybe more than ever, like the team that has the 2nd overall pick is Tampa Bay. And everybody prefers like pro contracts
going to Tampa
in the state of Florida. So but Thatcher Hurd was the former premier arm from UCLA that transferred to LSU. Speaking of the premier arms, I mean, you had Logan Redmond tie a career high in strikeouts against TCU. By the way, I mean, this was the best series on paper coming into the weekend. UCLA just swept the floor of them. I think they outscored them 30-8 in the 3 games. None of them were really that close. The Sunday game was probably the closest, then it got dressed up to a 15-5 run rule victory in 8.
And Tommy Laporte's injury had nothing to do with that lineup. UCLA pitching staff shut him down.
Yeah, Redmond had tied his career high with 10 strikeouts. Wyland Moss came in relief of Barnett, who had a great start. 5 innings, kept them to just 1 run, I believe. Wyland Moss comes in, throws a career high 10 strikeouts, strikes out 9 consecutive to finish off the game, just completely renders the TCU lineup useless in that one. And yeah, I mean, you had Roch Cholowski, banging 3 homers in the series, including a grand slam in game 1. Shout out Will Gasparino, who's the Texas transfer that Ben mentioned a second ago.
Hey, he's kind of got a little bit of Charlie Condon in him.
He does. He's long, lanky. He's got some power to that swing. I watched him live last year and I was sold. And then he just completely hit a cold spell in SEC play. But he's tied for the country's lead in homers right now with 6 with the Roch Cholowski.
Why did Texas let Gasparino walk?
I think Gasparino walked on his own.
Yeah,
he's from California.
Guy, right?
His pops is the president of baseball operations for the Dodgers, so he's from the area. So
he wanted just to go home.
Yeah, just new scenery too. Like see if something else works and play in the Big Ten, where you're not going to see premier pitching every weekend.
Hey, here's something to think about. Like, how spoiled were we last year to have a UTSA versus UCLA super regional? I mean, but both of those teams last year were playing great baseball at the time. I know UCLA didn't really show up in Omaha too much, but if you're UTSA, you're kind of like, dang, like maybe we were an Omaha caliber team last year. Like maybe we were really freaking good. So, anyways, I hope they both of those teams, UCLA and UTSA, continue success because they're fun to watch.
That's why making Omaha is one of the hardest things to do in sport. Murray State, I think UTSA beats Murray State in a series last postseason, but
dude, I don't know. Murray State was clicking last year. Nobody was stopping that offense.
Well, okay, let me rephrase that. UTSA would have made Omaha if they would have taken the path that Murray State took. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Probably fair.
Like if UTSA went to Durham and played Duke, they would have went to Omaha.
Yeah, but you can't be playing a lot of what ifs.
Before we move on from this series, just a thought on TCU. Are you guys worried at all right now with the Horned Frogs?
I think that they're going to give me major. Okay, nobody's worried about TCU vibes. And they're going to click and they're going to be just fine. They have to wait for somebody to step up and replace Tommy Lapura, but overall, TCU will be in the Big 12 race at the end of the year. TCU will be in the potential hosting picture. TCU will be there at the end.
For those looking to, if you believe in what Dimitri's spewing right now, and you think that TCU will be in that conference race in the Big 12, DraftKings hypothetically has slipped TCU's odds to plus 700 to win the Big 12.
Who's the favorite? Who's the favorite for the Big 12?
Arizona State, 4-1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nobody was high on Arizona State preseason.
Horn Frog thought?
Look, I think they're going to be just fine. You can't let a weekend series in February dictate what you do the rest of the year. Mentally, they should be fine.
This weekend had said way more about how good UCLA is, because a week ago we were bullish on TCU until that Sunday game against Oklahoma where they got blown out. They threw out whatever they had left pitching wise, but they dominated the first 2 weekends. This weekend was more about UCLA than TCU.
I think I agree with you guys. I think I agree. That I thought the pitching staff compared to a lot of the other Big 12 teams, I thought TCU had a stronger, deeper staff. So hopefully that remains true without Lepore, depending on how long they're without him. But I do think the lineup is good enough to win some ball games too. So
you know what I like to entertain myself with, Noah? You'll love this. Take the UCLA off their jersey and put an LSU logo or an Arkansas logo, and they're like, this might be the greatest team of all time. We have the Golden Spikes win. Just because they have UCLA across their chest is why there's like some doubt in people across the country. That's the only reason.
Please tell me TCU goes to Fayetteville, Arkansas boat races them all weekend. Everyone's praising Dave Van Horn again. Everyone is praising Dave Van Horn. Oh, Arkansas is the number one team in the land. UCLA is the number one team in the land, and they're still not getting woo-wad like any SEC team would.
Yep.
Yeah, anyways, I do think that they maybe deserved a little bit of the backlash for still remaining number one after taking a loss to UCSD when there were other undefeated teams. I think that was why that was happening. But yeah, they proved why they proved why they are number one right now. So
yeah, well, I do want to segue this into LSU talk because I don't know if they're going to lose before conference play. I don't know if this LSU team is going to lose 10 games this year total. I'm looking at a 48 to 50 win season. What LSU is rolling out this year, and sorry for the such dramatic transition. This feels like the best offense that LSU has had in a while. And it feels like Jay Johnson in year number 4 now with LSU is like sitting in his king chair, ready to coast to at least hosting a super regional.
I agree with you on that.
They are so good. I got the pleasure of listening to well, never mind. I got the pleasure of watching the tournament this weekend in Jacksonville on my D1 baseball subscription. What's the new stat everybody's talking about? Kill shots?
Yeah, that's the pair rating stuff.
Pair ratings, kill shots. I think LSU is going to kill shot 90% of teams they play, where it's like a 5 spot in the second inning, and teams are going to be dead, immediately just dead.
They put up 34 runs in 3 games this weekend, and they did it without Chris Stanfield, who led the team in batting average in the SEC last year.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what they're doing. And you know what? I'm usually like an LSU, not hater, but I like to play the other side of the coin. They're actually very likable. The players this year are very likable, and they're fun to root for. I'll say it.
I will play devil's advocate, though.
Thank you. Somebody has to, because usually that's me. Go ahead, Noah.
Proven starting pitching? Question mark.
I was just about to say, you guys are getting so high in them, which rightfully so. This team is incredible. But this screams to me the type of LSU team that fumbles in a regional or in a super regional, and everyone is devastated. It just screams to me. They don't have Paul Skeens. They don't have Cade Anderson. They don't have Ianson. They don't have that level of starting pitching. Hey, who knows? I'm just putting it out there that this could be an LSU team that just, you're like, oh my God, we're going to Omaha, we're running it back. And then you just get absolutely heartbroken in a regional or super regional at home.
Yeah, right now, the Friday guy has been Cason Evans, and he's got a 6.48 ERA. The first outing was not pretty. The second inning, it was a little rocky, but he was able to maneuver his way around a lot of the base runners on the base paths. But yeah, it hasn't been super great. Cooper Moore has been the best arm for them, and he was superb last year for Kansas. William Schmidt had a better outing this weekend than he did opening weekend against Milwaukee. So we'll see.
Well, I guess we can talk a little bit more about the Jacksonville tournament later on, but yeah, I think right now there's 3 teams, maybe a fourth, but 3 teams that I think are standing out over the rest. The other one is the Texas Longhorns. Dimitri, I know you've been dying to talk about this in their pitching staff, but holy crap, man. Texas has a full team. And like, I'm talking bench players that aren't even playing for them that are, I think, superstars.
Yes.
So this is your floor, Dimitri. Let's talk about the Texas Longhorns.
First of all, are you even surprised a Max Weiner-led pitching staff is doing what it's doing? Are we surprised?
No. He's the best pitching coach in the nation. And I'm talking major league too.
He is a wizard. I mean, I don't know if I've ever said it on the podcast, but one of my closest friends, best friend of mine growing up and stuff, a guy named Reggie McLean went through the Seattle Mariners system. He was, for SEC fans, you guys should remember him. He was the Friday night guy in Missouri in 2016. Yep. And anyway, the point is, he was on his last year. They told him to showing up just after his season in high A ball in California. They told him, hey, man, you got to throw harder if you want to stay in this organization. So basically, he stayed in Arizona with Max Weiner and did his first edition of what he called gas camp. It was just a full-blown learn how to throw harder and throw gas. Reggie did that program that whole fall, showed up in spring training. He was the 88, 91 kind of guy with a lot of sink. He was 96, 97 that spring training. Went to high A, went double A, triple A, big league that following year, thanks to Max Weiner. So shout out to Max Weiner. He knows what he's doing. But the Texas pitching staff, man, Ruger Riojas has really settled in the Friday night role. We talked about how Volantis belonged on Friday. Maybe talent and star power wise, he belongs there. But if you can have Riojas competing on Friday and then Volantis waiting for Sunday, very dangerous team. And then
and it also takes the pressure off of Verlanis. Sorry for interrupting. Like, no Friday night pressure.
Yeah, Riojas has the age, the experience, the composure to handle the spotlight on Friday night. Volantis is still young. He's a sophomore. Yes, he closed out games, so he was in very high leverage situations. But man, a guy like Volantis on Sunday going to be tough to beat this Texas team 2 times on a weekend. And then not even mention closer Thomas. As Noah mentioned in a tweet or something, he was Arizona State's Friday guy 2 years ago. Texas has turned him into a flame-throwing, invisible fastball, just absolutely electric closer. He went a perfect, immaculate 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts after the leadoff guy got on Saturday's game. So really bullish on this Texas pitching staff.
Bowling balls, like they were heavy balls.
Yeah,
I do want to
really
bring up.
On them.
I do want to bring up a hypothetical of like, just imagine if Ruger Riojas was still at UTSA.
Yeah,
dude, I know
that would have been an Omaha team last year.
Well, I'm pretty sure UTSA beat them last year, didn't they?
They did.
But wait. is Ruger Riojas a beneficiary of the Max Weiner program?
I don't know.
Maybe
He was pretty
Ruger
damn good at
Riojas.
UTSA his
Yeah, he's all
sophomore year.
right at San Antonio.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, maybe does he take that next step and get this good at UTSA? Maybe, maybe not. You never know.
Yeah, I
All right,
remember
so
them. I remember the Roadrunners taking some shots across the bow after winning that regional last year too.
Oh, dude, that
So,
was personal. That was
yeah.
personal.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out Texas pitching staff. I think their lineup is not going to have to do as much work as they've had to do in the past, but that lineup does need to make some improvements consistency-wise overall, because it was a
Yep.
lot of low-scoring games against Michigan State this weekend, who, by the way, I think will compete in the Big Ten this year.
Yeah, I got
Well,
some buddies on that team. I can't wait to talk to them and see just how they thought those arms from Texas were that they saw all weekend. Crazy.
yeah, I mean, they beat up that Louisville staff, and then they go to Texas, and it's like runs aren't coming.
No.
They ain't coming.
No.
So,
They will not
anyways,
compete.
well, let's move on here because I hinted at a fourth team that I think could potentially be in that A+ tier. Any guesses?
Auburn.
No.
Hmm.
I'm starting to buy into this Georgia Tech hype. I've seen it now. I've seen it too many times.
Dude.
I think when things are all said and done, I think there's 4 first-round picks in this lineup.
You got to score 9 runs to beat them.
You have to. The offense is ridiculous. It
Who are the 4 first-rounders? Burr, Lackey, Avincula.
Stevenson? What grade is he in?
They have a couple of guys that
But they have a freshman. They have Hernandez. Seth Hernandez.
Hernandez is a sophomore now, but yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple of dudes that I would say have a chance.
I know they
of
haven't
being
played anybody yet. I know they haven't played anybody
Yeah,
yet.
I'm in
They
the
played
same boat as you,
combined.
Dimitri. Yep, keep going.
What?
I'm in the same boat as you. Keep going. You're gonna say it.
Like, I want to see Georgia Tech do some damage against, a team with a pulse right now, because Georgia Southern doesn't have a pulse. They're dead. But
they're so dead right
this
now.
isn't about Georgia Southern. Georgia Tech, let's see, who do they have next weekend? They've got I have it pulled up right now. Northwestern for 3. Noah was bullish on Northwestern preseason. I don't know why the hell he was, but we'll find out. And then ACC play Virginia Tech. So we'll see what Georgia Tech does over the next 7-8 games. If that offense holds up, watch out. Watch out for this team.
Yeah. Let me insert Auburn into the teams of the week portion here before we move on, because they go 3-0 in that Arlington college baseball series, whatever you want to call it. And they knocked off Kansas State, they knocked off Florida State, and they knocked off Louisville in the process. So they beat 2 top 15 teams or whatever. And the question opening weekend was like, oh my God, the offense looks like it's really struggling against Youngstown State. Guys, this offense was so good last year. That was not the question mark. The question mark was the pitching. And the offense showed up to play here in a big park. That proved to be not an issue, as they scored plenty of runs this weekend. I believe they tallied 13. They tallied 23 runs in the 3 games. Jake Marciano's excellent. Last year as a freshman in the ACC, the lefty, he had like 70 strikeouts to only 19 walks. This kid was impeccable against the Kansas State lineup that was incredible on opening weekend, putting up runs left and right, and he held them down pretty much the entire game. So he already had passed my eye test, and I thought he was going to do really good with Auburn. Once again, reassuring there. And then Jackson Sanders, or Saunders, I don't know how to pronounce that yet, and Alex Petrovich have both been solid so far. Petrovich, 2.70 ERA in 10 innings with 14 strikeouts and no walks, and Sanders, 17 strikeouts, 2 walks in 11 innings with a 3.27 ERA. So keep an eye on Auburn. If they can figure it out on the mound, I think they've got the sticks to really get it going.
That's interesting you
Yeah.
put Auburn and like out of some other SEC teams that I think could have filled that gap, like i.e. like Arkansas or shoot
Hey, Ole
Oklahoma.
Miss,
I was gonna say
Oklahoma.
Ole Miss, Oklahoma, both of them. I know the competition's for Oklahoma is not great, but
Yeah,
like
Oklahoma won the week last week, so I wasn't
yeah.
gonna consider them. And I mean, two ranked
Oh, you
teams
weren't
in the
putting
mix.
Auburn in that A plus tier, or were you?
No, for this week, yes. Like the teams
Okay.
that won the week, yeah. I mean, they played really good competition this week and looked great.
I was a little sidetracked while you were doing it because I think a first round pick from Georgia Tech that nobody knows about. He's a freshman. His name's Dominic Stevenson. I wanted to make sure he was a freshman, but he's like a 6'2" catcher outfielder, big build. Like, just watch out for him. I was a big fan of him last year for like potentially draft stuff out of high school. He's going to be in the lineup every day come 10, 15 games from now.
Any other teams are we forgetting about?
Well,
Hey, so we mentioned really quickly Arizona State. What are your thoughts on them, gentlemen?
I don't have any thoughts right now. I honestly haven't watched them a ton. That's why I was a little surprised to hear that they're the favorites to win the Big 12 right now. I need to start watching more of them. The only thing I've seen from Arizona State this year was Willie Bloomquist cracking a
His
joke,
quote.
yeah, in his press
Yeah.
conference.
He
So,
couldn't keep that smile under a wrap.
Hey,
yeah, I will.
recruiting. Hey, recruiting never stops. Recruiting never stops.
That's true, Dimitri. That is
Yeah.
true.
So there was a brief segment here that I want to have, and it's about the Oregon State Beavers, a team that I think probably has the number one overall pick in 2027 in Dax Whitney, throwing Friday nights, but zero run support.
Oof.
Oregon State's offense has looked very bad.
Anemic.
Is it so for you guys? My question was, do we think this is going to be a season long, hey, we know we're not going to be great on offense. We're going to have to pitch and defend and honestly scrap our way to a regional, super regional, potentially Omaha? Or do we think this is an offense that's just sleepy right now that will wake up at some point? Because you could convince me either way. Uh, I thought this weekend was a bad showing for the Beavers, but you kinda look at
Um,
their lineup and you're like, they feel like they should be good.
I think let me give my thoughts and then I'll let Noah finish it because I know Noah's more of a stats guy. He wants to bring up a little more nitty gritty. You got to think this Oregon State team is going to be on the road for a month straight in Arizona, Texas, and Texas. They're constantly on the road. They're flying around. I think it's just a one-off weekend. I mean, it's just the weekend. They went 1-2 against some good teams. It is what it is. For opening weekend, they handle business. I mean, now we're learning that Arizona is struggling, so maybe that win isn't so great. I think this Oregon State team will be fine. Let them get back home to Goss Stadium, get back to Corvallis, and I think they'll be okay.
Hey, is Frisco the double-A team for the Rangers?
Springfield is Cardinal.
No, Frisco.
Oh, Frisco, yeah, Rangers.
So, the Arizona first, 10 games of the season go Rangers Major League, Rangers AAA in Round Rock, Rangers AA Frisco. Actually, I take that back. No, that's right, isn't it? Round Rock is AAA for the Rangers, and Frisco is AA for the
Round
Rangers.
Rock Express is Giants, I thought.
No, it
No,
used to
that's
be
El Paso.
the Astros, and then now I think it's the Rangers. But anyways, I
Wow.
think that's pretty cool if that's true.
Hey,
Maybe
don't
Oregon
forget that.
State.
Let's see. Wait. Don't forget that. Let's see how many, if any, players from the Arizona team get drafted by the Rangers.
No, Oregon State. Oregon State.
I meant Oregon State.
Well, maybe the Oregon State offense just can't hit with uh, the Rangers organization stadiums around them because the Rangers suck and we hate the Rangers, Astros till we die. But they do go play in Frisco this week, which is interesting.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
Oregon State is a wait to see team.
Can we talk briefly about just how dominant Dax Whitney was, though? I thought that was a performance similar to like Hagen Smith, similar to
Yeah.
who. There was another pitching performance a couple years ago in this turn. Oh, Landon Sims a couple years ago. Like this was
Dude,
one for the ages. Was it ended
did
up
Paul?
being 17 strikeouts?
Yeah, 17.
Do we
Yeah,
know how
this
many
was-
pitches he threw?
I don't remember.
It was like 90. This was my write-up for the email. Like, on a cold day in Round Rock, Dax Whitney had demonic plus stuff. That curveball was ridiculous, by the way, in that game. And his first pitch of the game in cold weather, 100. And it just kind of foreshadowed the way that the game was going to go. Just absolutely dominant. He faced 25 batters. He struck out 17. It tied an Oregon State program record with Cooper Jerpy and Mason Smith back in 1994.
Jerpy, dude. I haven't heard that name in a long time. That guy was so much fun
He
to
was my
watch.
dude. Loved Jerpy.
Dimitri,
Cooper
was the Skeens versus Brody Brecht game in Round Rock?
It was.
Is that what you're
Yeah,
thinking?
that was
about?
Frisco. That was
No, I think it was
Frisco.
Round Rock. No, I think it was Round Rock.
They played Iowa. Are you sure it's Round Rock? I thought it was Frisco.
99% sure it was Round Rock. That was the first
are you
ever
looking it
T1
up?
baseball stream.
No, it was Round Rock. I know for sure.
Yeah,
Oh, it was Brown Rock?
Yep.
Interesting.
but that pitching
no,
performance was fun that day too.
Did Skeens ever have a 17K game in college? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I would guess no. But Ben, going back to your original question, I think this offense is going to have to be scrappy and win low scoring games. I struggle right now to see them being able to put up lopsided innings consistently throughout
Yeah.
the season. You look at them through 2 weekends, they have 2 total home runs. It's not going to quite cut it.
Big
You look at
ballparks,
them.
bro. Big ballparks. Wind
Fair.
was blowing in Round Rock too.
I look at the team and some of the physicality or lack thereof. I just don't know if it's there this year with this group. And also I was looking at scoring, just flat out scoring right now, bottom 50 in the country. So through 2 weekends, it's not the entire story, but the sample size is about 8 games now and quality competition. Canham didn't schedule any slouches. Like, they're going to have really good competition throughout the entire year to make sure that RPI is good. I don't think the offense is going to be one of the stronger ones they've had recently. So
That's fair. That's fair.
Maybe.
Anything else from the weekend? I do want to say, did we talk about Jason DeCaro?
no, you
Complete
said
game
you were
shutout.
saving
Oh, no,
him
you
for
need to
another
bring him up. You
segment.
need to talk about him now.
Yeah, Jason DeCaro from UNC. I mean, how many years has he been in college now? Is this his third?
Third.
He's
I
a
remember
draft
his
guy this
true
year.
freshman year. Wow, my brain is getting wires crossed because for a second I was like, man, was he a true freshman last year? But it was 2 years ago when me and Jack took a trip to UNC in 2024 and watched him pitch. I think he was 8-0 at the time or 8-1. I mean, he is a true like major league starting pitcher. The way he's able to mix his pitches, he's in and around the zone with everything. And you know what I mean by like his composure, his demeanor. I feel like he didn't even sweat, like not one drop of sweat against ECU. Cruz, like he might be the most underrated Friday night guy, and it's crazy to say that, but he gets no spotlight, no shine, even though he's Mr. Consistency over his college career.
Yeah. Hey, totally. I think we're just in that time of the episode. We're just saying things. I think the Oregon Ducks are for real this year.
They
Really?
played Youngstown, dude. I mean, I think so too. I think they're
Okay,
good.
hold
but
on. What they did to Youngstown is night and day compared to what Auburn did to Youngstown. They absolutely bamboozled
true.
them.
Yeah,
They
I think
bam-
Oregon.
they
I think didn't I pick Oregon to go to Omaha this year?
somebody did.
You drafted him, yeah.
Yeah, I would have drafted them in my top 8 without a snake draft.
So the reason why I brought up Oregon was you get Arizona, Irvine, and Vandy this weekend. That Vegas tournament is electric to go along with the Daikin Park, the Astros College Classic. 2 big-time tournaments this weekend.
Yeah, we'll do the tournament previews on our next episode on Wednesday, but go ahead, Noah.
2 more quick hitters for like shouts that I wanted to give, and they're probably going to end up on the email list. So AJ Garcia on Friday hit 3 home runs, and the game wasn't televised.
And nobody saw it. Yeah.
What do we have to do to fix this? It's Virginia. How is this game not being televised?
I think it's a basketball thing.
I think it is too. It's
It's
still
just
unacceptable.
you get overwhelmed. Your
Were the
broadcast
games
team
at Virginia?
Yeah.
You're 100%
No,
sure.
no. It was at Stetson. Because they lost to Stetson Saturday night.
Oh.
It was at Stetson.
Yeah.
That's right. Stetson didn't broadcast. It had nothing to do with Virginia.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I
Stetson did not
watched-
have a basketball game on Friday though.
Well, then that's just pathetic. If you're going to host a tournament at your own ballpark, you better be ready to broadcast all those games.
Should we show the people the 3 homer game? Should I pull up Synergy here?
I mean, is it even possible that they logged it if there was no game? Or do they have the cameras?
They have cameras. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a
Yeah,
broadcast for Synergy.
while-
I already have Synergy open if you want me to open it.
Yeah, pull it up because I don't trust my Wi-Fi right now.
While you
right,
pull that up, I'll mention the other guy that I wanted to give a quick shout out to. Cal Poly's Friday night guy, Griffin Ness. Over the past 2 seasons, this has been one of the most sturdy arms and out-getters in the Big West. And he's a junior now. And so coming into this weekend, his career high strikeouts, this is just a pitch to contact, get outs, be consistent arm in the Big West. 2 years of being a Friday night arm under his belt. His career high of strikeouts was 7. On Friday, he threw 14 strikeouts. So shout out to Griffin Ness against Washington State. He had 14 strikeout game in 7 innings, 0 walks, just 1 hit. And it's an experienced Washington State team. So 9 of the 14 outs came on his changeup.
Wow. That's a guy that's going to pop in the draft. To have a secondary pitch like a changeup that a team doesn't have to develop. I mean, they're going to put him through gas camp or whatever Dimitri called it. Trying to bump up some miles an hour on his fastball, but they're going to say, don't change a thing about that changeup.
Yeah.
Dimitri, do you have the videos pulled up of his homers?
Here we go. YouTubers, you are going to be the first people to see AJ Garcia's home runs. Are you guys not fired up for this?
Shout out Synergy,
right.
the best.
Here's home run number 1. Oh,
Left
that was
on left.
what was that, Griffey? That was Griffey or no?
Hey, are there multiple
Carlos
camera angles? Hey,
That
are
was
there
Carlos-
multiple camera angles, Dimitri?
Yeah. Let me get
Here,
these.
let me teach you something. Wait, no, I think there's only 1 camera angle. Or does that say 2 down there?
No. You can do there's as-log, center field, low, high. Which one do you
There
want?
we go. This
What?
is a good view. Yep, this is perfect. That's a single up the middle. So, Noah, the reason why I was like, are you sure it was at Virginia was because I pulled this up on Saturday on Synergy because I was like, oh, yeah, nobody saw it, but I want to see it. And I was like, I don't remember it looking like Virginia's field and didn't think about it.
Backside.
Ben, why couldn't Stetson just connect these to a YouTube channel and just stream the game?
I think because you need somebody to produce it. I don't know.
Produce it. You can just throw the camera up and leave it. Just don't touch it. And here's the number 3.
No, this is his.
That's Carlos Gonzalez.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Chase Davis from Arizona.
Who we said looks like Cargo.
Yeah.
You guys were on the cargo train with him early.
Yeah,
Chase
Gracia's
Davis
a
was
beast.
electric. Never mind me. I need to look up his stats, his Pro Bowl stats.
I remember
hope
in
that guy-
2024, AJ Gracia for Duke was just like this baby-faced freshman that just had like big arms and legs. Or he was very lanky, huge hands, and I think he had a 3-homer game for Duke when Jack and I were there, and Jack interviewed him. It's like this baby-faced freshman.
That's funny.
Yeah, he's gonna be a top pick though. Do you guys want to do a quick YouTube segment midweek preview? It's a pretty good slate.
Sure.
What are we just previewing the midweek?
Yeah, pull up Warren Nolan. Let's just go through and talk about games like the old
All right.
the old days.
Hey, by the way, for the listeners, we are dropping number 26 through 50 in the prospect big board prospect ranking. They will be out tomorrow. Full report, video, stats, all that stuff. So look out for that. Those will be dropping tomorrow. And then the mid-major one will be coming end of the week, early next week. So we'll be at 50 players on each board. All right.
Who's pulling up Warren Nolan?
Dimitri is. All right, here we go. Tuesday slate. Can we make this a little bigger? There we go. Perfect.
Gnarly.
I'm gonna hit
If anybody sees a game they want to call an upset, just blurt it out.
A little bit faster.
Yeah, a little faster.
A little faster?
No, we're good. Like App State ETSU will be a good one. Both
Xavier,
6-1
Indiana
teams.
is nice and regional too.
Yeah. Campbell at Coastal. Those are always fun games. High Point Liberty. Two of the richest schools in the country, High Point and Liberty, battling it out.
Duke at UNC Wilmington.
Austin P.
Arizona State, Oklahoma.
Austin P. Mississippi State's a good one.
This is the big one.
Arizona State at Oklahoma.
Yeah,
it's a double midweek.
In the preseason media availability with Coach Bloomquist, he had mentioned that they were throwing Cole Klecker in the midweeks for that game.
So you think Arizona State's starting Cole Klecker to be ready for this game?
Oh, I know they're starting Cole Klecker for that game. He said, and he started Cole Klecker against UConn last week in the midweek, and he's doing it against Oklahoma in one of the two games here.
So he needs these wins. He wants a postseason berth. He wants that at-large security blanket. Get these games.
Correct.
Love that. Ben, here you go. We got our first major test.
South Florida.
Ben, shout out your big brain idea.
Oh, I think Bethune needs to start throwing their Friday, Saturday guys in their midweeks.
Dimitri, pull up this schedule for Bethune.
Yeah, their midweek schedule this year is crazy. So they have South Florida, and then they have 4 against Delaware State, who might be the worst team in college baseball. Midweek at Miami, right after Delaware State. So start your ace there. FGCU, you kind of need your guys, but whatever. Keep scrolling down. They have Florida State in the midweek. They have Jacksonville in the midweek. South Florida again. LSU midweek. Florida midweek. UCF midweek. FIU midweek. Stetson midweek. UCF midweek. It's not a bad idea, right? Try to get some wins there.
Like maybe my brain is too naive to think this, and experienced college coaches are like, you idiots are talking about this. But wouldn't you want to try to steal some of those wins and build the RPI? Because you would think that your team's good enough to win the conference games.
RPI is not going to matter for them.
Timeout. RPI had not a damn thing to do with Bethune-Cookman getting into the postseason. They have to win the Swaggy Swag to get in. I don't give a damn. Bethune-Cookman should not even look at the RPI.
You start your aces against them for recruiting purposes, and then also for them to like get a taste of high competition for a regional.
Noah, do you see these teams that are on their schedule? Delaware State,
I laughed.
Prairie View, A&M, Alcorn State, Jackson State, Southern, Mississippi Valley, arguably the second worst team in America.
Oh no, that's
Alabama
a high power,
A&M,
dude.
Florida A&M, Arkansas Pine Bluff. Do you think RPI could even be close enough after
If
playing
they
those
win
teams?
some games, maybe. I don't know.
Standing on the
Probably
same
not.
field as those teams, your RPI drops 100 points.
Hey, if you go 45-5, 45-6,
They'll
like,
still be in the 100s. They'll be in the 80s.
you can talk your way
Looking
into
at
a
those
possible
teams,
at large.
11.7th RPI just dropped 50 points, even putting them on this YouTube.
That's the best joke you've ever made. That's good.
Why is it every week something is the best thing I've ever said?
Because you keep getting better and better, Dimitri.
Maybe
was
it's
there.
always been this way. Maybe
I am interested in UCF Jacksonville.
Mercer's
That'll be a
losing
fun
this
game to
game.
watch.
Mercer
they're
will
not.
1,000% lose this game right here.
No, Mercer's going to Omaha. I will predict.
Hey. Over under how many runs did Georgia Southern give up on Tuesday? Let's make it a little bet.
They only gave up like 2 or 3 runs today. They're back. They're fine. We can't be dunking on Georgia Southern anymore. They know.
They're friends at a program.
All right, here we go. Now we're getting into the juicy stuff. Alabama at Southern Miss is a great watch. UTSA at Texas State, Texas State team that we had ranked 26th in the mid-major top 25, and it's in San Marcos. Kansas State, Louisiana Lafayette. That's a great game. Two teams that are surging.
Here we go.
UTRGV, Texas. McNeese, sneaky good team against LSU.
Tulane against New Orleans.
Hey, I think San Diego State has a chance against UCLA. San Diego State's pitching staff's pretty good. You get the battle of San Diego teams. Dimitri, you should actually go to the San Diego UC San Diego game. You should treat yourself.
Oh, that's at UCSB in La Jolla. Maybe I will.
You should. Keep going down. Lamar, Texas A&M is a good one as well.
Where was the game I just missed? Oh no, dude. Armani Ragosa, 3-run bomb against Texas to put them up, and they're going to win this game.
Wednesday has some pretty good games too. If you go to Wednesday's schedule, my upset pick, I'm taking FIU to beat Florida. By the way,
interesting. All right,
I like FIU's offense a lot.
We already talked about Arizona State, Oklahoma, the 2-bagger this week.
Yep.
Upstate Stetson's pretty good. Miami at FAU is pretty solid. Tulane, South Alabama, Kansas, Minnesota. Minnesota's sneakily playing good baseball.
What's weird? You guys want to know something that's weird? So Miami played 2 midweeks opening weekend. That was crazy. But why would you play FAU on a Wednesday before that Florida series? Play them on Tuesday.
That's a good point.
Why? Why would you do that?
Yep. Well, South Carolina's playing Queens before Clemson too.
That's different though. That's a little different.
Not
Queens
really.
is like a tune-up game, or supposed to be. Queens could easily win this game. I don't think South Carolina is very good. FAU is a dangerous team.
Kent State, Wright State, Troy, Georgia.
Whoa, this is a good one.
Kent State at Wright State, and then Troy at Georgia. Both of them.
Nishwitz.
Troy might lose by 15.
No.
They can put up runs.
Yeah, they'll be competitive.
Hey, Ben, go ahead and announce to the people the 6th series for this upcoming weekend.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. I just exited out of the thing, but can you actually pull it up? I just exited out of it.
All right, I'll announce it.
So
these are the 6 series we're going with.
Go ahead.
Florida at Miami. Southern Miss at Louisiana Tech. That's going to be electric at the Love Shack. Michigan at San Diego. South Florida at UCF. Nebraska at Auburn. USC, as in Southern California, at Cal Poly. the one series that we did not put on here that we wanted to, only because Paul doesn't have the boys ready yet, is Clemson at South Carolina, or versus South Carolina, sorry.
Yeah, like obviously that's one of the most historic rivalry series that we put on the weekend series pick'em every single year. But what we don't want is like 98% of people pick Clemson for a survivor or for a weekend series pick'em, and then South Carolina wins the series, and it kind of ruins the whole season fun. We are really looking at just pure 50-50 matchups. So, for example, Michigan at San Diego. Michigan's been playing great baseball, but they're going to be on the road. San Diego's been playing good baseball, but it's like Michigan has also beaten some big time teams that San Diego hasn't really challenged himself with. Same thing with, oh gosh, like Nebraska Auburn was one that we debated on for a while, but this Nebraska team I think is very freaking good. And Auburn's at home, but it's almost like, do we want to risk a survivor on an Auburn team? Like, yes or no? So, anyways, yeah, those are the 6 weekend series pick 'em for coming up this week on Friday. That pretty much concludes everything I have for the show today. It was a fun weekend. Felt good to settle in a little bit and watch some specific games rather than to watch the whole board. And then this next weekend coming up is going to be big. We hinted at it, but a couple big time tournaments, actually a few big time preseason tournaments. And then I think, dude, I want to say, is there some conference play starting up this week?
No, Southland next weekend.
Southland coming up this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend.
No, next.
No,
This weekend.
UTRGV and Lamar are playing this week.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So we get a couple
Well,
conferences.
I'm not changing my Southland pick, so I don't care.
Yep.
Oh, is that episode coming up this week?
Yeah.
Or is it next week?
What? Oh, changing our picks?
Yeah.
It'll be next week.
Next week.
Yeah, going into weekend number 4.
All right.
But yeah, that does it for this episode. We appreciate everybody for listening and following along on social media. Obviously, our DMs are open. We always are open to feedback, and our email is somewhere on our website. But yeah, it's going to be a fun 30-day stretch here coming up because we have you get the Houston College Classic and a few other big time tournaments. Next week starts the World Baseball Classic. Week after that is the NCAA March Madness tournament, which I know we're a college baseball podcast, but some of our best episodes are during March Madness too. The basketball stuff.
Should we do a little WBC preview bonus random episode?
Yes, absolutely. We should.
It won't be. It'll be a totally separate episode for anybody that wants to watch it. We will do a full preview of it. I think people will enjoy that.
Let's get Sean Spratling on as a guest.
What?
Let's get Sean Spratling on. Huh?
Sean Spradling.
Oh, Spradling. We'll get him on. Hell yeah, we'll get him on. Dude, I think it wasn't coming through. It wasn't coming through. All right, we'll get Spradling on. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And we might have a weekend series pick'em guest this weekend on Wednesday's episode.
Oh yeah. Oh, we might.
Yep. So that'll be fun. Jack sends his best wishes to everybody listening. He was traveling back from Jacksonville, so he wasn't able to make today's show. He should be back Wednesday, though. I think he will. But anyways, appreciate everybody for listening.
He's traveling to Frisco, right? He's calling Frisco the next week.
Yeah, he's flying to Frisco 2 days from now. So a lot of airline miles.
Busy man.
Jack. Busy man. All right. We love everybody. We'll see you guys Wednesday.